coming in as we're talking here.
What's the next one? Here we go. Next one. Shout out to we got 13 people in here right now. What up, y'all?
Man, hey man, this is I don't know what the record is, but we doing good, man. We so excited everybody is in the booth. You know, as a segue, we definitely before we get to this next clip, before we segue, there's a really good question down here in the comment section, and I have to read it. So it's from brother Jesse. He says, "What do you think is the best approach towards change? How do citizens get their demands met in our democracy?" So I want to hear from everybody down in the comment section. I would like as many people as possible to answer this. I would love to be able to identify with you guys with this question. So Heero, can you take a few minutes and answer that for Jesse?
There's two ways you can do it, and they're the most effective and they're the quickest routes. Force all police departments to pay from their budgets for all abuses or excessive lawsuit crimes. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Let it come from the budget and not from that. Number two, force all officers to have liability insurance when they mess up. Because a bus driver doesn't get off scot-free if he crashes his bus into a fire department. It just doesn't work that way. He's held liable for it. Force those two things. They're the easiest things to do. And if you don't want to have insurance, you can pay a higher premium to get out of it. But you're going to have to pay. Money is why they do it. Because for every person they arrest, it signifies a bonus. For every person behind bar, they get free. The state gets free labor. California's progressive ass was fighting wildfires with prisoners who then could get out of prison and not become a firefighter. And that shit didn't change till this year. The hypocrisy is so disgusting. It's mind-numbing.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's on a smaller level, but what about like overall? I think Jesse wants to speak to like the overall situation as well. How do citizens get their demands met in our democracy? Like how do we do that?
To get your demands met, you hold your vote for ransom. I mean, that's your most powerful tool, your biggest asset. You literally control. I like to call out the people of Kentucky right now, who are dead last in education, healthcare reform, infrastructure. But you know what they're so proud of? Their coal factories. Their mining factories. That's their pride and joy. They're also leading the nation in lung cancer disease. And every year, they blatantly, without any disregard, vote for the racist turtle himself, Mitch McConnell. That is an example of what happens when you don't use your vote and you let your pride, your ignorance, your hypocrisy get the better of you. You are literally willing to be more racist at the expense of your own health. And that's crazy to me, but that's what it has to be.
All right. Hold on. I got to respond to a comment here. So the good doctor says, but voting does nothing. And I'm like, hold on.
Draft that
56% of the people who voted for Joseph Robinette Biden did not vote for him because they like him. They voted for him because they did not like Trump. Listen, how is it that one of the most unpopular politicians gets almost 3 million more votes than the most popular president that we've seen in our lifetime? I'm just saying. So if voting really didn't matter, and I used to think that until I saw this election, voting definitely matters. Voting definitely mattered in 2016 as well. So you hold, and especially you being a black woman, you got to know the strongest voting bloc in this country are black women. They vote on average for the last 40 years as a 93% voting bloc. No other demographic in this country has that tight of a voting bloc. Not even white women, not even white men. They're not even close to black women. That's what I'm saying. So yes, your vote does matter, and your vote, the 21 million black women in this country voting at a 93% block, is a huge reason in places like Georgia where it mattered, places like D.C., in New York, in California where it matters, where a lot of black folks are. It put J.R. Biden in his seat. So don't think for one second your vote is worthless, because it definitely and obviously is. So we gotta use it like Heero said. We have to withhold and give it to the person who's going to do the absolute best for what you believe is right for the country. So, man, bro, we they are active down here in the comment section. I don't know if we're gonna get to this next one in the meantime.
We
Jesse,
got all night. Let's go.
so Jesse says, but what should we be doing in the interim? Letters to representatives, organizing protests, straight up civil disobedience. I understand voting helps, but the problems don't seem to go away. So the thing you need to do, and Eric's always going to be an advocate of this. Number one, you must start here. If you do not know what the Constitution reads, you cannot defend yourself. See, let me tell you, let me go back over 40 years to the Black Panther Party. Let me tell you why the Black Panther Party was dismantled, because the Black Panther Party knew it line for line. That's why they were able to take rifles into the state capital of California. That's why Fred Hampton was shot over 100 times laying in his bed in Chicago, because these guys were armed, they knew their rights, they knew the law, and they carried themselves as such. Do you know the same things that are happening in the streets today were happening in the streets of Chicago and Watts in the 60s? And do you know what the Black Panthers were holding instead of a freaking camera phone? Was a rifle. And do you know why the cops relented with their prejudice and their violence? Because the threat of death was staring them in the face by somebody who they knew would take action. So if you're asking me what we do in the interim, is you need to know your rights. You need to legally own a gun. If you're not in a state where you can conceal carry, you need to get out of that state and you need to move somewhere else. Secondly, if you can open carry, you definitely need to be in a state that has open carry laws. Thirdly, you need to know your rights and you need to exercise them. Fourthly, if you see abuse happening, you need the threat of violence staring at that cop, and you cannot be afraid of the consequences that come. See, the problem is we're supposed to be in a collective society, but everybody's so selfish and individualistic because of this thing. I'm worried about my likes, my comments, my retweets, my reposts, my shares, instead of thinking about what's best for the whole. Do you think for 1 second that a mob of people wouldn't come out for you if you stood up for that guy that was on the ground? I promise you a mob of people would. Do you not see what else is going on in Portland? There is mob of people still out in the streets because of what has happened. They don't care. These people have said it on camera. They don't care who the president is, because it's beyond that at this point. It's about us, the American citizens, standing shoulder to shoulder, having solidarity. Yes, can we organize protests? We definitely can do that. But the thing is, you actually need to be more strategic. Don't just have a protest. Where are you protesting? Are you in front of the police station? Are you at the state trooper's office? Yes, you can send letters to your congressperson and your senators, but you need to go knock on their door. Where is their office? See, I know where my local senator's office is and my congressperson. One of them is actually down the street from my office. So if I have a problem, I can go to his office and knock on the door and say, "Hey, sir, let me rap with you real quick." That's what you need to know. That's where we need to get to. Anyway, rant over.
And with that being said, let's take a look at a fuckboy named Daquan. You want to know how you know a black person isn't for the cause? Just look at the hairline. One look at the hairline and you'll know.
So jacked up. You're going to have to scroll so they can see the hairline.
They can see it. It's been updated here. Just look at the hairline, guys. And anytime you see a hairline like this, just know that this black person ain't down for the cause.
Hold on, bro. It ain't like he got a Tuvok from Star Trek. He just ain't got no edge up. He ain't got no bro. It's a pandemic. He obviously can't afford or can't legally go to Daniel shot. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Do you want me to pull up a picture of Daniel Cameron?
Oh yeah, bro.
Daniel Cameron got that same energy. Daniel Cameron, where's his punk ass at? Look at his hairline. There's multiple photos of his shit. I'm not saying this to be like coy. It's a factual piece of evidence. Look at his hairline. Look at Daniel Cameron's shit. Look at this shit.
That's some Tuvok from Star Trek hairline, bro. That dude got a big noggin, bro. His hairline uneven, bro.
All I'm saying is if you want to know if a dude is down for the cause, just take a look at his hair. Ladies, don't let him wear a baseball cap around you. Make him take it off.
Or a do-rag. Make him
take that shit off. We need to know if you down with the cause. Daniel Cameron eats coleslaw.
Hold on. Would I be down for the cause? I ain't really.
A hairline. You bald though. You bald, so like you have to be down. Like you good. Yeah. It's the one.
Somebody just put in the comment that ET hairline go. Yeah, but see, listen, I can grow a full head of hair, and my line would be square.
That's all you need to know. And like if you're bald, we can't judge you till you open your mouth. But if you got hair and your shit look like this, we know we can't trust you. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at Emmanuel Jackson. Emmanuel Jackson used a metal baseball bat to hit a row of police officers who were holding up plexiglass shields. He faces 5 federal crimes, including assaulting an officer with a deadly weapon. Now, I want to let you guys in on a little secret on some of the people that have been charged and what they've been charged with. Inciting crime, trespassing, what's the one about being provoked into a riot? It's escaping my mind. But there have been multiple shit that people have been accused of, and some of them have been charged and released. The banker from Oklahoma, the doctor from our hospital, he's been released and he's back in the state, but they fired him as a doctor, and just a slew of people. But he's being held without bond. He's been charged with felony charges. If convicted on all 5 of them, he's serving, what's 5 times 25? 125? 125 years consecutive. Like, the fuckery that is this guy right now. So this guy's life is over, and he deserves every goddamn crime he's about to be punished. If they throw the book at him, so be it. Wanna know why? Because you gotta hang out with people that look like you, man. Who else in this picture looks like you, bro? You by yourself. You wanna know who else in this picture has a bat? No one but you. And thank God you were smart enough to keep your mask on until you took it off.
That's what got you caught up. If you left your mask on, you wouldn't have been caught up with the Kens.
You gotta hang out with people that look like you, bro. But you want to know,
these things is not like the other.
But you want to know what's really baffling? Yo, check out my girl Karen. Eric, ask me what this lady was charged with.
Heero, what did this lady get charged with?
She was charged with breaking and entering and grand larceny. Ask me what she stole.
What did she steal, Heero?
A federal laptop owned by Nancy Pelosi. With the objective to do what, Eric? With the objective to do what, Eric?
Hack into it. Espionage. Send stuff to the Trump campaign.
No, to mail it to Russia. She was actively trying to mail it to Russia. You want to know something that's interesting?
That is treason. That's treason.
She
treason.
Is right here in this picture.
It should be death penalty. Death penalty.
This is her in the picture where my mouse is. Right underneath Eric. She is next to the Quan. But guess what? As you can see at the bottom of this article, the FBI cannot find her. The FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the people who can track your cell phone right now, cannot find this lady.
Because she's ditched her cell phone. She's powered it off, and she's out somewhere. She's probably living in the woods, and nobody can find her. She's probably going to change her hair color, change her face, Probably cut her hair already, changed her appearance, dyed everything, took off the glasses, got contacts, took the nose piercing out. She is going to be out roaming around in a one horse town where nobody can see her, and is going to be completely okay.
But Eric,
Nobody's going to know who she is.
Eric, you want to know what the kicker is?
What's the kicker, bro?
They actually had her in handcuffs and arrested, and they let her go. Why? When I say the law is not equal, I mean it's not equal. There's nothing just about it. I've worked in it. I got a master's degree in it, and I've never seen anything normal about it. Daquan is not going to go home and see. Daquan's life is over. Karen gets a second chance. Karen gets a second chance. Shout out to you guys because we've now reached 100 comments in the chat. Shout out to you guys for that. But I just want to bring these stories up to you guys. And to Greg's point, I don't think she has to be smart. She just has to be white. She just has to be white. Because in the FBI's mind, she's not a real threat. A lady who could break into the Capitol, steal a laptop, and get out, and lose her in a public setting, she's not that threatening. She's not that threatening at all.
Yeah, well, again, she's got an innocent face, apparently, and Daquan doesn't.
Oh yeah.
So, and again, because he's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be his fight. Even though you're there on our side, we're still taking you down because, again, we need extra slaves for IBM, for Core Civic, and the rest of these companies.
Shout out to the House for putting the acts of impeachment and literally having it documented. Why do we think that Trump should be impeached for inciting violence? Because over 134 people out of the 300 arrested thus far have openly said they were following instructions from Trump. And shout out to Rand Paul for trying to put up a situation where it's like, oh, you can't impeach a president, a non-sitting president, and the Senate threw that out.
Again, because the Senate's in a position to do something that is, first of all, I'm not going to go down the constitutional argument. I'm going to break the internet again if I have to read Article 25. The Senate has legal precedent against what they're doing right now, and they're following through only to drive home a point that they do not want this guy as an opponent in 4 years. Because they have no idea how this is going to go for them this next 4 years. And what they don't want is him standing in the way, even though they're going to spend 4 years talking about how much of a failure he was. So the irony there for me is just hilarious. But yes, we know we won't break the internet tonight. I'm not. You guys already saw what my position is. I'm for the document, not for the person. I'm just for the document. The moment we start saying this part of the Constitution we want to listen to and not this part, means that we should throw all of it out and start over. But that's going to lead to absolute chaos and anarchy, and that's my biggest concern. So we need to be consistent all the way across. And if we don't, if they do something unprecedented, it is a slippery freaking slope from here. That's all I'm saying. Because one day the pendulum is going to swing in a direction that a lot of people in this country right now do not like. A lot of my liberal people, a lot of my leftist people, the pendulum always swings. What are you going to do when it swings against you? What are you going to do? You will be the radical right that you're talking about. So the thing is, since this is the People's Party has a responsibility to be the fair, balanced, and civil party. The moment you start throwing out constitutional amendments because it doesn't agree with your feelings about a human being is the moment that same sword of Damocles is going to hang over your head and drop at a time that you do not find convenient. And you have to take that into consideration. So be the People's Party and do the right thing. You're supposed to not be like the thing you just voted out, right? So do the right thing.
I just want y'all to know something. One, how many of those people do you think actually thought Trump was gonna get their asses a pardon? But that's just hilarious. But this has been a story. This has been a thing. Daquan, good luck to you. Not really. Go fuck yourself. Hey, you all know this about me and Eric. We just want to identify with y'all, and we've been bringing that good quality content, man, lately, and we appreciate it for the likes and the shares. I don't think we're gonna hit our goal tonight to open up the phone lines, man. I don't know, Eric, and I'm kind of disappointed.
It's looking a little grim right now.
It's not looking good, but hey, we still got 3 more shows. Who knows? Let's be hopeful, but this has been a show. I gotta go shovel myself out. I'm still snowed in, so I gotta shovel myself out tonight. And I wanted to have the excuse that I was on the phone. That's why I couldn't come to work and couldn't shovel myself out. But y'all not giving it to me. So y'all can find us here on the Identity Booth. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Facebook and Apple iTunes.
We like Visa.
Spotify. Spotify just bought Anchor. So now we're on Spotify exclusively. But I have made arrangements so that we can transfer to iTunes. So all you iPhone users, you guys can get on there too. So just like, share, subscribe. All that will be in the description below. Or you can just hit up my link tree, the_identity_booth, and get us there. But we're going to the next show. Eric, you got anything for us?
Nah, man. Let's just hop to it, man. Let's hop to it next.
We're gonna talk about.
Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope the end is sight. Slow it down and we can catch the vibes.